Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to give a quick update in regards to the weather that we're going to be expecting here the next couple, I'd rather 24 hours here with our first system, and then we're going to have to wait a couple days until about Saturday. Just going to throw some caution to the wind in regards to something that we could potentially be seeing. I'd say potential is maybe on the lower end. It's looking more likely than not at this point. But we'll start here with what we're expecting for tomorrow. So another weak Clipper system is going to come through. It's been basically the same setup that we've seen with our last couple of systems. Majority of our snowfall is going to be along and north of Interstate 94. St. Cloud here sitting around 1 to 2 inches. Cambridge 1 to 3. I think majority of these estimates are very generous. St. Cloud is probably going to struggle to get above 2 inches, and I think most places around St. Cloud will probably struggle to get above 1 inch. I just don't see a whole lot of snowfall in terms with this system. There's a couple reasons why that could be. I'll get to that in just a second. But like I said, looking across all of Minnesota, same spots where we've seen predictions of where that majority of that snowfall is going to be 3 to 6 inches across much of the Northland, including Duluth, Grand Rapids, up the North Shore, Grand Marais. And then our low pressure center is going to do the same thing where it tracks out of Canada across the international border into parts of northern Minnesota. So Alberta Clipper, same system, originates out of Alberta, Canada, and then they come through and with some cold air, a little bit of Pacific moisture, and then they drop through and drop a very brief period, but can be kind of heavy sometimes of some snow. So once again, very similar track what we expected, and with the last couple of tracks, we really haven't seen a lot in terms of accumulation of snow. So I'm going to get a little bit into the meat and bones of this system, but we could be expecting a little bit of ice across parts of the southern Twin Cities metro down I-35 towards Rochester, Mankato areas, just due to some warmer temperatures, a little bit of moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Could keep things above that freezing mark. So instead of snow, freezing rain. If you know anyone that's going to be down there, tell them to be careful. The majority of these impacts are expected to be right around that evening commute time, which could cause some headaches for people, especially if it is icy. Things are going to be very slick, and some people don't know the weather, might not be expecting it, and henceforth that could end in some serious issues if people are unaware of ice on the roads. In terms of timing here, follow the graph across St. Cloud, see right around that 3-4 o'clock looks to be the majority of across Minnesota when we're expecting that snow. And I'll go ahead and pull up this potential radar loop here. It's from the HRRR, which is a rapid refresh model. It deals better with short-term stuff. It's not the best in terms of predicting snowfall amounts, but it usually shows a fairly decent image of what we can expect radar to look like. So this radar starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, so 6 a.m. on Wednesday. And as we head throughout the day, right around 21 UTC or 21 Zulu, which is right around 3-4 o'clock here in Minnesota, we can see those scattered snow showers are starting to work their way and form up, and they could even have a little bit of heavy snow involved with them because we're going to be double dipping in terms of moisture supply. So we have a little bit of moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, and then we've had that consistent stream of moisture coming out of the Pacific, and that's allowed us to have our storm system, which we saw on Sunday, and then this one, and then going to also potentially help out as we have potentially another system as we head into our day on Saturday. But this Gulf moisture could be a little problematic as well, because if it kind of blocks off some of the moisture supply out of the Pacific, it might not allow for enough moisture really to get up into the system, even though we're kind of double dipping, and it could lessen snowfall totals across the majority of our area. But these initial snow showers will be dipping in a little bit more of a moister environment with that Gulf moisture, so we should potentially be seeing some heavier snow. And then as we head throughout the rest of our evening, through that evening commute, then into the overnight hours, and then early morning on Thursday, we'll see that snow continue to fall, but by the time we head to about midnight to about 2-3 o'clock in the morning, everything should be mostly cleared out here across the majority of Minnesota. Maybe the far tip of the arrowhead of Minnesota could still be seen a little bit of snow, but obviously majority of the people that watch this video, they all live in central Minnesota, so we shouldn't have anything to worry about with that, and the road should be fairly good in terms of driving conditions, assuming that all the snowplows are able to get out and make sure everything's all cleared and salted off. So you shouldn't have a whole lot to worry about in terms of snow as we head into your morning on Thursday. But I do want to just throw one quick thing out here before I do end this video. So we do have another shot of snow as we head into our day on Saturday. So it could reach portions of far western Minnesota, west central Minnesota, I guess, by the time we head into late Friday, about 7 to 10 o'clock. And then we'll see potentially snow start to spill across as we head throughout our early morning on Saturday. Then it'll linger for the majority of our day on Saturday. The system will be moving decently fast in terms of just how big the system's going to be. Usually they take a little bit longer to move, so it is moving relatively fast, but we should be seeing a fairly consistent snowfall for the majority of our day on Saturday, and then things should clear out by the time we head into the morning on Sunday. But this system, in terms of what we could expect for snowfall, models have been kind of all over the place, but I think that realistically somewhere between 5 to 10 inches of snow, potentially more than that, could be possible if we get the red and greens that come together, and models have been spitting out numbers somewhere within that range fairly consistently across majority of central Minnesota actually for at least the last day or so. And it's kind of bounced the exact location of where everything is run to run, and they will continue to do that because we're still about 4 or 5 days out from this system. So still a fair bit out. Things definitely are going to change, but I did want to just make you guys aware if you have any travel plans on Saturday, definitely pay attention to the weather. This has the potential for being one of our bigger storm systems, and it also has to do with us double dipping in that moisture because this low pressure center is going to originate out of the Kansas, Oklahoma area, Central Plains. It's going to shoot up into parts of Iowa, and it's basically going to allow us to be dipping into, it's going to pull a lot of moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico with this one, way more than what we're going to see tomorrow, and then we're still going to be pulling moisture out of the Pacific. So basically just double dipping with that moisture, and that usually causes a fair bit of snowfall, and it can be quite heavy. And snowfall ratios, for those that don't know, usually average snowfall ratio is about 10 to 1. So it means for every 10 inches of snow, it's about 1 inch of water. And when you get colder temperatures involved with this, you get higher snowfall ratios like 15 to 20 to 1. And when we get really moist, some warmer temperatures, that drops our snowfall ratios down to about 3 to 1. So that means it's more saturated. But with this system, we're looking at snowfall ratios possibly between about 15 to 20 to 1, which basically means that we could be seeing quite a bit of snow despite the fact that there might not be a huge amount of moisture that would indicate very large fluffy flakes, very productive snowmaking system here. So just something to be cautious of as we head out into our weekend. And of course, I'll have more updates as the system gets closer and we see more changes. But for tomorrow, stay safe out there. We're not expecting a huge amount of snow, but it could be just enough to make things slippery. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a good night, everyone, and stay safe tomorrow.